You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Juan.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are...
Roperig.
Again, we're missing the third member. So, we want to say shout out to Ryan, the Legend Killer Whitman.
Yeah, we're just back to Hall and Nash.
Yes, yeah, we were the outsiders, yes. And, family, the weekend is right here upon us. And, of course, every single weekend, Jean-Paul, Ryan, and I were trying to bring different stuff to you guys. So Jean-Paul gave the idea that, since it's like the mid of the year, it doesn't feel like it, but it is because of the great pandemic that we've been dealing with. But let's try to, summarize the best of 2020 so far, because at least the only sport that, is being able to continue despite the restrictions and pandemic issues that we've been dealing, is been professional wrestling.
Yeah, so we just we were kind of thinking of something like how we did the awards last year, for 2019. Just kind of do something this year, switch up the categories a little bit, still kind of have the same thing, but like you said, wrestling's one of the only things that's been there. Everything else, it's like, oh, we have it for 2 weeks and they take it away, then we have it again because the pandemic thing is like Hulkamania. It's still running wild.
Even McMahon can have COVID, and we're still have shows. That's how legit. At least they keep the show going. Yeah, we gotta give it credit when credit's due. So thank you so much for watching every single one of the content. Thank you for the new subscriptions, for all the love, comments, support. Thank you to every single one of you for giving us a chance to be in your houses. We have a great video with Jean-Paul Egg. Show the Impact shirt, please. Show right there. We get a new kid.
That's right.
Everybody shout it up. So, he Pro Wrestling Crate with Jean-Paul Wrestling Hall. He opening up the crate is all based on Impact. He got Tommy Dreamer. He got a figurine, right? Like a small. Yeah,
the Micro Brawler, Tommy Dreamer, RVD shirt.
Stick. Yeah, he got the Rob Van Dam shirt. Jean-Paul lately has been having a lot of orgasms because if you see what happened on NXT, he was already coming, and then now he gets the Rob Van Dam shirt. He pretty much the whole camera was moving.
Yeah, it's like the thing from South Park when Randy Marsh is sitting there at the computer and it's all covered in ectoplasm.
Yeah. So, Jean-Paul has been very tantric lately. So, don't forget to check that video. Very short also for all the family that hey, if you have 5 minutes to spare, give those 5 minutes to Jean-Paul.
Exactly.
And then, the other 35, if you have extra, then watch the SmackDown review with all the 3 guys from Rope Break. We were talking about the bar fight. We're talking about Alexa Bliss going against Nikki Cross, and a lot of new stuff.
And speaking of that, before then we get into this Impact, Impact the shirt, I'm wearing here, and SmackDown actually had the same viewership, I believe, or rating or something. So
what do you think, Jean-Paul? Impact is kind of growing a little bit,
yeah, or SmackDown's kind of going down.
Exactly. That's what I
think. I think it's both. It's definitely more eyes are going to Impact, and then SmackDown is going down, and that's probably just because people are getting sick of WWE, what they're putting on.
We gotta admit though, right, Jean-Paul, that Impact, the Fallout show from Slammiversary wasn't that great.
No, it wasn't, but the numbers were there because one, Slammiversary was good, and two, you think of all those debuts. I don't think this week's numbers of Impact will be as good. Yes.
They have a lot of work, they have the talent, so it's up to them if they want to keep giving us good stuff or not. So,
exactly.
Jean-Paul, start with, you are the guy that put all of this together, is the Jean-Paul Awards.
So then, like I said, we kind of have some same categories from last year, but we switched up a little bit. So the first category will start off, big, and that is who is the best, you could say, main event player, the best, guy who's leading a company. He doesn't have to be the one who's holding the belt, but just the guy who's always, in the main event. So, Juan, why don't you start us off here with your pick?
The main event, you said, a main event player, right? Yeah. I want to pick, this is going to be, shocking for Jean-Paul, but I'm going to pick a guy that actually I'm getting behind more and more and more, and that's, from Impact's own, Moose. Why? Because his character, Jean-Paul's, we've been watching a lot of Impact through the years, and Moose started out kind of like a football player, and then he developed his wrestling ability, and now he's actually believable. He's credible, and the character that he has, his gimmick, hey, I'm a bad guy, but I deserve the best. Hey, I self-proclaim like the TNA champion.
I was going to say the TNA champion and the run he's going on. He deems people worthy of challenging him, and then he runs right through them. So, he's on a roll.
Remember, Jean-Paul, when they said on Impact, he's like, oh, so like, are you going to have the open challenge like Eddie Edwards is going to do? He's like, hell no. He's like, they got to be worthy of me, that I got to pick them for them to have a shot at like the TNA championship. So Moose has a lot of potential. I love his theme song. I love his intensity. And like Jean-Paul is saying, like, he's beaten a lot of like the main guys on Impact. He's beaten Ken Shamrock. He's beaten Rhino. He beat Tommy Dreamer in a great match. So, like, they know that, like, they can trust this guy. And, I think I can say, like, in a few months or so, he can be the one that, like, might able to unify both belts.
Oh, definitely. And I hope that that's what they do with him. I feel like they kind of gave him this TNA belt, and they're having him go on this heel run because they want him to have gold. He's too good not to, but for some reason, they're like, we don't want to put the Impact Championship on you. So, I don't know, but I definitely like the pick. And then for Ryan's pick, he's not here, but he did send us the list. He said Adam Cole, and I don't think either of us can argue with Adam Cole. The years he's had, even 2019, he was both of our picks, or at least I know he was my pick. I'm not sure if he was yours as well.
I think it was
last year, but he was definitely right up there.
We love the guy, Adam Cole. And I want to add something to Jean-Paul, the master of the Bud Light, because we're going to start, we're going to start teasing, the rivalry with Jeff Hardy because of alcoholism. No. We will never do that to Jean-Paul. But, like, you saw the thing that happened at the Pat McAfee, I think is how you say it? Or
yeah.
Is that a work? Or, like, the word that, like, Jean-Paul introduced me to that? God. Shoot.
I saw so many people, like, did you see this? Did you see this? I must have commented in so many groups. I'm like, do people not know what kayfabe is? I'm like, this is a work. Clearly, McAfee, he was in the gym. He was getting, like, you can see he's more buff than when he was a punter in the NFL. Explain that. So now, Adam Cole, he was on the show. Of course they're going to get pissed. It's not, if that was real, WWE would have fined him. They don't put up with that crap no more. So,
but clearly, it was legit though, right?
I thought it was cool.
You only win because of the Undisputed Era. Kind of like stuff that is true.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, maybe they don't know what to do with Adam Cole. Maybe they're going to feud him with this Joker just for like some gimmick match. I don't know.
Yeah, but I like the whole. Hey, for example, like
the
you're
intensity
nowhere near
was good.
than you're nowhere near than Shawn Michaels, and like you're short. Like all this stuff is. Like,
oh yeah, well that's like. That maybe Pat McAfee was listening to Rope Break when I said Adam Cole's real height was only 5'8".
Yeah, it's true. So like, you even said Jean Paul brought it up for everybody. It's like that he wear what is the word Jean Paul like?
Risers.
The risers, the ever risers. So that's what it is. So like we agree though. Adam Cole has had a great year. For me, Adam Cole is the best NXT champion ever.
Oh yeah.
Like the runs, like the promos. Remember when he first won the championship and he did the Adam Cole tour, and then he went through everywhere with Johnny Gargano, like bothering him.
Yeah,
that guy is just amazing. And I mean, Keith Lee is like a more believable champion just because, like you said, like power and everything. Even I remember when Jean Paul first debuted, he said, if Keith Lee, doesn't defeat Adam Cole, what the hell? There's no way in hell. Jean Paul brought that consistency, that theory. He brought that concept, that new ideas. Like, Keith Lee in a shoot fight, in a real Keith Lee, one thing, one blow, and done. So, like, yeah, great stuff from Ryan. And now, Jean-Paul, your pick.
And my pick, I got to go with, the WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. He's had a legit year, since winning the Rumble. He's just been, legit. He hasn't had a blemish, I don't think. I mean, the only thing, an asterisk next to all of this is all of his major moments. Besides winning the Rumble, there's been no crowd. Beat Lesnar, no crowd, but he still fought through it. I think WWE, they took the handcuffs off him, and they were like, go out there and say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do. And, he's been legit. Like I said, won the Rumble, obviously WWE champion. Now, hopefully I don't jinx him, and then he loses the title to Randy Orton at SummerSlam. But we'll see. But he as of right now, he's my pick. What did you just do? He's my pick right now, and, I think he's having a great year.
Yeah, no, McIntyre is just having the year that he is just like, they're doing justice to the guy. Because remember when he first went to NXT, NXT champion, Cien Almas injures him, and then he loses it. Then he comes to the main roster. He debuts. Everybody was like, this guy needs to be champion. Finally, boom. But now, Jean-Paul, let's go to next category.
Now, the next category is just like a step down. So now we're going to like the mid card. So guys, maybe who are in the IC Championship, United States Championship hunt, maybe even another singles championship on WWE. And of course, it isn't just WWE. Like Juan, he went with Impact. This is all over. You can pick it, any mid card from any, company. But I'm going to go with Ryan's pick just because it's a little surprising. Next time we get him on here, we have to have him defend himself.
He has to explain himself.
Yeah, he has to explain himself. Now, I like this guy personally. I don't know if I'd say he's the best mid-card wrestler right now. But Ryan said R-Truth. The reigning, defending, 48-7, 7-11.
7-Eleven, Wawa, Turkey Hill, and, all those, food chains or, stores. Yeah, but I think that R-Truth, what he does, the thing that he represents on the show is making it fun, give you a laugh, and I mean, they will focus on his wrestling ability. He'll be fun because you enjoy his work on Impact, on TNA, the early days of TNA. The guy's hell of a wrestler, but unfortunately, WWE only sees in him the fact that he can make people laugh. They don't. But I think
or they cash in because look how deep their roster is. They don't need guys who can wrestle.
Yes,
they just need guys who can be funny, and R-Truth can be funny. And he's one of the guys who they let cut his own promos and not he says what he wants to say because WWE I guess trusts him because he's been there forever. But I like R-Truth, but I don't know if I would have went for the best, but he is funny. I do like him, like we said. Once the Legend Killer gets here, I'm sure he'll explain himself.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. So, yeah, now you, Jean-Paul.
So, my pick, this might be cheating. Some people might be like, oh, this guy's main event. Like, what are you talking about? This guy is, spoiler, but not really, now the NXT champion. But I'm going to go with Keith Lee because for, up until maybe 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, he was a North American champion. So, that's technically the mid-card title. So, that's my pick. Keith Lee. Same thing as Drew McIntyre, just on the rise. Everything when he was, I know this is going back 2019, but he had a legit showing in the Survivor Series, and that carried through into 2020 with the Royal Rumble. Him and Lesnar squared off. That looked good. Of course, he got eliminated with Strowman. That was kind of bullshit. But, since then, everything on NXT has been legit. And then finally, where he's now the NXT champion.
I agree with you. My thing is legit. And, if you guys want to revisit the Royal Rumble review, Jean-Paul and I, we had an hour, close to an hour of talk about the whole thing, how Jean-Paul and I were suffering the whole thing. The whole thing. Remember, it was the worst bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Ever. It was the worst until McIntyre.
Until McIntyre eliminated Lesnar. So, you guys go with
Charlotte Flair winning the women's. Oh my!
Yeah, but if you guys want to relive that, relive the WWE Network right there in Road Break. We've been, all these videos are right there in the channel for you. For me, Jean-Paul is gonna be the guy that I just debuted on SmackDown, and that is do it, yeah. He's feeling it, yeah. One hand only, see. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, well, I was holding the list.
It's Matt Lucius Lee.
You stupid
no,
idiot.
It's not Matt Lucius Lee. It's Matt Riddle. It's the bro. He's had a really great 2020. Consolidation for him. A lot of people had doubt. A lot of people didn't know what was going to be his role on NXT, but they were able to kind of repackage him. I shouldn't say even repackage him. Just give him another type of role with Pete Dunne. We enjoyed that. Everybody loved that. The bro.
Oh yeah, those segments were so great.
Yeah, yep. The bro. What is it the brawlers? What was it? What was the name of
Broserweights.
The bros, yeah, the Broserweights. That it was just a great, tag team. Like you said, the sketches that they had, everything with Mario. And we had a lot of doubt. We have a lot of concern what was going to happen with Matt Riddle when they was going to be called up to the main roster because he leaves NXT with that great match with Timothy Thatcher. In in the cage. He came back in his SmackDown. He debuted good. Despite of the sexual allegations and the speak up movement. Remember, I even texted you. He was he's not going to debut. They're going to scratch that off. No, it's fine. And now he beat AJ Styles the first night. So it's good. He's actually having a promising. main roster. The best main roster debut called up. At least so far, they've been giving Matt Riddle an opportunity.
Exactly.
So
and when you hear reports that Vince McMahon likes you and he's comparing you to a young Shawn Michaels, then it's like, Matt Riddle couldn't ask for better, honestly.
Yes. Yeah, so and also although people in WWE, they presented from Las Vegas, Nevada, where is he from? He's actually from Allentown, Pennsylvania. So get that straight, WWE. Start saying where he's really from. He's actually from our state. So Matt Riddle, for me, best mid-card.
Yep, I agree 100% there. He's exactly what you want it to be, like a legit mid-card, because in a year or two from now, he's going to be a legit main event.
That's right. So now, Jean-Paul, next category, please.
Now, moving on, we have the best tag team. So my pick is, there's a couple honorable mentions. The North, I think, is a legit tag team.
From Impact,
from Impact. Now, of course, they just lost the title, so it's like, that doesn't, now they're 2020s.
Did they lose it to Heavy Machinery, to Machine Gun Kelly, or the Motor City Machine Gun?
That one, I think. Answer C, final answer. But my pick is, unfortunately, not even a tag team, or it is a tag team, but it's not like a legit
They don't act like a tag team.
Yeah, and that's going to be Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. They had, a legit year. It feels like every other week or every week they're defending the titles. They look strong, and they had the match of the year candidate. Is it the match that I picked? Maybe. We'll see. But they had definitely a match of the year candidate against the Bucks. So that was, legit. And there's a story within them because, they're going to break up. Is it Hangman who's going to turn heel? Is it Kenny? So there's a good story within the tag team. They're not just guys who are legit wrestlers and then just kind of boring personalities. So, and Hangman's my favorite wrestler in AEW. So
Jean-Paul has been teasing the cleaner. So we will see if that happens with Kenny Omega. But he's a great tag team, despite how opposite they are, how not the fact that they don't act like a tag team. But when it comes to the ring ability, the matches.
Well, who sang that? I know you'll know this. Who sang that song? Opposites Attract. What was her name?
Opposites Attract. Shit. No, you put me on the spot. I really.
Oh, okay. I thought your women and your music, but anyway.
No.
I finally stumped him. But all right. So then that's my pick. And we're gonna go with Ryan's pick here. And this is another one. I mean, I love these guys. Oh yeah, Heavy Machinery. But I don't think, like we said, did they even challenge for gold? They challenged for gold a couple times on SmackDown, but it was the same thing like Rusev Day. I felt like WWE never pulled the trigger with them, and now Otis is in the singles run. And yeah, Otis, you could say Otis is having the best 2020 out of all these guys. Next, I mean, maybe not McIntyre, maybe not Keith Lee, but
he's not making out. McIntyre, Keith Lee.
Yeah, I mean, they might be WWE champion.
They're not making out with Mandy Rose, so Otis, I don't care how many titles you have, the fact that he's making out with Mandy Rose.
That's what I'm saying. So Otis could be having the best 2020.
And now that I think about it, I should change for my mid guy, and I should put Otis. I just say oh yeah.
But he put Heavy Machinery, they're a legit tag team, like we said. Next time we have him on here, he'll explain himself, but Heavy Machinery nonetheless is legit.
I go with your idea. If they would have tried to make them champions, it would have been fine. But they don't have faith and now they need Heavy Machinery because Cesaro and Nakamura, they don't have anything. Remember?
Well, you know what? Now this might be something because Kofi's injury is only 6 weeks. I don't know if it's legit or if it's a work, but whatever it is, that's perfect time for Otis to just be like, oh yeah, cash in the briefcase, and then him and Tucker, can win the belts.
That's fine. Yeah, that would be
because because they're babyface now. You can do babyface versus heels,
and also it will be different because no one has ever used the Money in the Bank to cash in a tag team or a tag team belt. So we'll see. Well, good thought. But when it comes to my tag team, it's something that Jean-Paul and I are, and we're going to start a road break. So it's going to be and now we finally got our freshly squeezing Whitman. So now it's gonna be, it's the best friends, and Chucky T, and or freshly squeezed, and the other guy, Jean-Paul, give me the name.
Trent
Beretta.
That's his tag team. You don't even know the name.
Yeah, I know. No, but I enjoy their work. I enjoy that, the fact that when they first started on AEW, they you know, remember that we used to complain they were a joke. They lose to everybody. They lose to Nia Jax. They lose to, you know, like they lose to Mark Henry. You know that they jobless. Yep. You know, so like that's the stuff that we would complain. But then remember, like through the pandemic, we got behind them. They started to win matches. They were presented a lot better. And now, you know, when they do the zoom in, when they pan the camera all the way in, the hug. And like you said, Trent, remember, he beat Penta, he beat Ray Phoenix, then he beat a few guys, CU. You know, they have meaningful wins. Unfortunately, when they had the match at like Fyter Fest with Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, the match turned out to be really crappy, but like you said, because there was no build-up. So yeah,
that's the thing. Like I said, yeah, that's like with my pick. You know, I picked tag champs in AEW, and I said it feels like every other week they're defending the belt. So that's why, you know, none of their feuds have really been meaningful yet, but except the feud with the Bucks. That one was the only one that was like, because there was story there. There was a lot of heat, a lot of animosity between the, you know, three of them, and Kenny was kind of stuck in the middle of it. But, you know, ever since then, they haven't really had a legit feud. And this is one, the best friends, we thought, build this feud. People are behind the best friends and give them the belts and cause the split. And then they just had them retain. Yeah. And there was no split and everything. So I was like, okay. So I feel like the best friends is a missed opportunity, but I could definitely see at the end of 2020 or sometime, you know, before this year's over, that they become tag champs.
Yeah, no, hopefully they do that. So that's my pick for like the tag team, Jean-Paul. So next category, please.
All right, so the next category is Best Female. So we're going to go with Ryan first, and he picked Asuka. And again, I don't think you can, you know, argue that pick.
He sucks.
Get at it. All right, everybody. Now rope break is just me and Ryan. There's no more. No.
Yes. No, we're fine. Yeah.
No, but I mean, Asuka's legit. She would almost be my pick, but I got to go with, I mean, it's tough, but I got to go with Io Shirai, I think. Asuka was legit pick, and she's right up there for me. It's like flipping a coin. If it lands on heads, it's Io. Tails, it's Asuka, and I'm fine with either or. But Io's had that legit run, and even though it's not been very long, I feel it's the most memorable. I would say Rhea, but Rhea's wasn't that. Hers only went up to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then there's just that bullshit stain of Charlotte Flair, the NXT Women's Champion. And actually, you know what? Oh, hold on. See, look, we watch too much wrestling. My brain is at work here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to rewind my pick. I'm going to take Io out. I got to go Bayley. I don't know how I forgot Bayley.
Yeah, there you go. So, like, Ryan went with Asuka. Empress of Tomorrow. She won all the titles, Jean-Paul. Asuka has won every single thing possible.
Yeah, Grand Slam.
Tag champ, SmackDown, Raw, Royal Rumble winner, NXT. So there's nothing.
And Soul Survivor, Survivor Series.
Yeah, so like she's won everything. So now Jean-Paul is saying Bayley, and Bayley rightfully so, because Bayley has had the best year of any WWE character, any WWE superstar.
Yeah.
Because Bayley has gotten so annoying at the same time so successful. Bayley every single week adds so much to the shows now. Like you said yesterday, what did Jean-Paul say? And I was thinking the same thing. The fact that she was on commentary made that match with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross so much watchable.
Yeah, because if that was just Graves and Michael Cole, that match would have been unbearable. If the match was almost 15 minutes, that would have been unbearable.
But Bayley's just like, yeah, I agree with your pick. I agree. But me, I'm going to go with, a girl that just won the championship, the Knockouts Championship at Slammiversary, and that's the Virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. Many of you will say, what the hell? Just because she wins one match, she's all legit. But it's because she was able to do this. She was, not given the right opportunity in WWE. She was overseen, hey, you're not worthy of being right next to us. And then she goes to Impact. She understood, hey, this company needs talented females. And Impact saw that in her. Right now, she's the champion. And I enjoy the match.
Oh, that match was probably I think it was probably the best match at Slammiversary. I mean, the main event was legit, but there's no way that you can say that match wasn't, one of the best match, if not the second best match on the whole show.
The best match.
I agree with you with Deonna, because people, again, they might be like, Juan, what the hell are you smoking? But whatever he's smoking, it's telling the truth. Because, she had no case to, no platform to showcase herself in NXT. There's way too many women. So she goes to a place, people say, oh, Impact, they just take all the leftovers and the people who suck. It's like, no, they take the people who don't get the opportunity to showcase themselves, because WWE, they hire way too many people than they need. She goes to Impact, boom, look how legit I am. I'm the Knockouts champion. So I agree.
And like Jean Paul was saying, like this match is the best match of Slammiversary. I think Slammiversary would have not been that legit or that great or that plausible if they wouldn't have that match. Mm-hmm. That match made the pay-per-view for all of us. Jean Paul was like, when Jean Paul says this, he sends me a text and he's like, this match is legit, is because we know that he's having another tantric orgasm. And that match, didn't need to like high spots, didn't need any of that. But the story that both women told, a lot of people are saying Jordynne Grace's bestest match is this one.
Oh yeah, and I feel like that was not, and nothing against her, but I feel like it was, as you give as much credit to her dance partner as much as you do to her.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Jean Paul. Yeah.
So next category we have up and comers. So this is kind of like a new one. Like which stars on the rise? Like who do we think? They were pretty legit at the beginning of 2020, but at the end, we're going to be talking about them as the main event player. We're going to go with my pick first here. I got to go with Fall and Pray. Scarlett, no. Karrion Kross. I mean, Scarlett, we already know she gets a rise out of somebody. So.
Well, check the Instagram. We put a great picture of Scarlett, so pump you guys up for the weekend, but I agree.
Exactly, but I mean, Karrion Kross, you see what he comes onto the scene, and he takes out Ciampa. He, takes out Dijakovic. He's going right after Keith Lee. I think Bronson Reed was in there as well somewhere, but, he takes out all these guys, and he's on the rise. He might not win the NXT championship right away, but it's going to happen at some point soon. So he's my pick, and, do you want to comment, or do you, who are you going with?
I can tell you, I agree with you, because, they handled these guys in the most perfect way possible. Why? Because they understood how much of a creepy, gory, dark figure Karrion Kross is, or Karrion Kross. And this time, actually, they were not going to feature Scarlett and him together, but they actually requested that because we've been wanting to portray these new characters. So give us the opportunity, let us try it. And I think that Scarlett is playing a wonderful manager. She doesn't need to say a lot, but the elements, the symbolisms that they use for the hourglass and all that is working absolutely great to their favor. And like you said, taking out Keith Lee is amazing. Bronson Reed, okay, well now he won a match. He's going to be in NXT TakeOver 30, legit. But the match also with Dijakovic, because even like you said, Dijakovic has the physique. Even he's very similar to Karrion, but they put on a great show. And Jean Paul, he was in tears when Lee and Karrion are having the stare down, and he keeps.
Oh, talking. It was so legit.
Yeah, so Karrion, there's so much future in Karrion. Karrion is the future right now. If you want to, like you said, the best up and comer right now is Karrion Kross. Absolutely, hands down.
Yep. And then for Ryan's pick, I agree. This isn't the guy who maybe I would have went to, but he's still an up-and-comer, and he'll still be legit. I think there's somebody on the heel side who's better than you, and you know it, who is the ultimate up-and-comer. But Ryan went with Darby Allen. And like I said, Darby Allen is legit. He's going to be, teaming with Moxley, coming back from an injury. And we even said last year, this guy is going to be main event in 2-3 years from now. There's no way. I think in 2020, he could be the one who beats Cody at some point. Mm-hmm. They had a good series of matches before. They could revisit that. So Darby Allen was his pick, and I can't argue. I think, just the sky's the limit.
The reincarnation of Brother Nero is Darby Allen.
Oh, yeah. They keep trying to jam that agenda down everybody's throats, how he's the charismatic enigma. There's not going to be – nobody should be called that until Jeff Hardy is in the crowd.
Retired, yeah. But, I mean, so, So it is the truth, and I see a lot of future in Darby Allen, but most future is my pick. Because my pick is a guy that nobody, sees a single cent in this guy. But I know, and Jean Paul knows, because Jean Paul was the one that sold me in it. He says, this guy's legit, the music is legit, and that is Dexter Lucius Loomis. Now,
No, you won't see
yeah. He teased it. Yeah. Like, this guy, the character is so awesome. It's because he's weird. The character is intriguing. There's a lot of, fear in him. We don't know what he's going to do. He's unstable, but the guy in the ring is amazing. We just saw him in a match with Killian Dane, and he was able to put on a great match. The guy is absolutely amazing in the ring, but the character itself, how he carries himself, like the reactions, like the gestures, everything that like he does in the ring and outside is just amazing. He doesn't need to say. We haven't even heard him spoke.
No, and like he does the drawings and everything. He's just so weird. Like you're like, what the hell is this guy doing? And then the bell rings, and he's like
infatuated with the weirdness. So for me, he has like Jean Paul has Karrion. I have Dexter Lumis because if there would not be Karrion, I will say that Dexter Lumis will be the guy that are pushing to the moon.
Oh, definitely.
Is Dexter Lumis? I can see him turning face and going against heel Karrion.
Oh, at some point, absolutely. At some point, they're gonna cross paths.
Imagine those promos. Imagine those segments, pictures. He's holding the picture with Scarlett, like, oh, look at the ass.
That would be legit.
He's
like, look how I drew her ass. Look at this.
And the thing is, like, the whole picture is just like the ass. I'm just saying. Yeah, fam, it's rated R. It's already 1 in the morning, so we can say whatever we want.
ECW.
That's right. ECW.
Yeah, see ECW.
Yeah, right there. Yep. So, Jean-Paul, next category, please.
So, moving on, next category, we have the top moment. So, what was it? Was it McIntyre winning the Rumble? Was it McIntyre, beating Lesnar? Was it Naito winning the belts? Was it Naito losing the belts and Evil joining the Bullet Club? What was the best moment? Juan, tell us your best moment so far.
Best moment of 2020 so far, Jean-Paul, is neither one of those moments because those moments did not make me feel anything. But the moment that I want to mention right now gives me goosebumps, makes me want to cry, makes me want to puke, makes me want to pee myself. So, thankfully, I have my diaper. So, it comes from the series The Last Ride, not The Last Dance, because I don't care for Michael Jordan, but I do care a lot about Undertaker, Mark Lucius Calloway, and, him retiring, finally making that decision. The last Troubadour, right, Jean-Paul?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Making that decision that, like, his time as an active professional wrestler has come to an end, understanding that, like, his time is done, is, for me, is, like, the best moment. And, more shocking is the moment that, like, we've all been waiting for years because, The Undertaker has never been the same after, like, what? Like, WrestleMania 28, after the Hell in a Cell, even when he lost to the Streak. That's what it should have been done. But,
yeah,
the whole series, like, seeing The Undertaker in a different light, seeing Mark Calloway more than The Undertaker, because we've seen The Undertaker for 30-some years. But now we get to see Mark Calloway. We get to see that he's enjoying being Mark Calloway, because Mark Calloway was pretty much dormant thanks to, like, The Undertaker. And him saying that he's done is, to me, the most shocking moment. I'm happy that I was able to enjoy his career. I'm happy that he needs to heal from the injuries. He doesn't need to come back anymore. His time is fine. He did everything that he could. He put the business on the map. So I'm very thankful for The Undertaker, and that's my moment, Jumbo.
And that's a legit moment. I don't think you can argue with that. Undertaker, like we said, we still think he'll come back when there's crowds. We'll still hear the gong. He'll choke slam Elias or Baron Corbin or some kind of, loser like that.
Tony Nese.
There'll still be Tony Nese, the premier jobber.
Yeah.
There'll still be some kind of moment like that. But, for in-ring, full match, everything, he's done. He deserves to hang up the hat, the gloves, the coat. Fantastic career. I agree with everything you said. Now, for my moment, it's the same as Ryan's moment. So this actually works out good. We both have, and for me, obviously I'll just say my opinion on it, even though it was spoiled, kind of, and even though WWE, I don't know whether it was intentional or not, botched it, kind of.
Oh, they did. Definitely.
It was the return of Edge in the Royal Rumble. So he comes out, I believe, was it number 7? What number was he? 17, I want to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. It was in the high teens or low 20s.
Yeah. 21, I think it was. 21.
He comes out, boom, he gets the fireworks. He gets everything. Legit entrance.
You think you know me?
It's so legit. The crowd lost it. It's probably the biggest pop,
of 2020.
Of recent, memory, and especially right, close to when the crowds kind of went away there. So it's the return of Edge at the Royal Rumble. Now, when I say they botched it, is right when he hit the ring, the first thing he did was spear Dolph Ziggler, and they cut away to the crowd.
And the camera didn't pan, they wasn't recording that. So even Dolph Ziggler said a tweet, is like, really? Do you really have to botch the first spear that he's done?
Yeah, but I mean, Edge has had a legit 2020, and besides the quad injury, so was it the quad or bicep?
Yeah.
I mean, bicep.
Yeah, no, quad. Yeah.
Oh, quad. Okay.
Bicep. Yeah, torn bicep. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
So.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got injured recording Backlash, thanks to WWE wanting to do the same spot 3 times. So, But yeah, I agree with you. Edge coming back, it was such a legit moment. It made that day a lot better, because that day actually, if you remember, that was the day that Kobe Bryant died. So the whole energy was a little low. Everybody was sad. It was a really tragic situation, what happened to Kobe Bryant. And him coming back, Edge coming back to WWE after 10 years, it was just so cool. We're hearing, you think you know me. On this day.
Exactly.
I see you.
And we popped. We were like, oh my God.
It was legit. And, see Edge, the way that he left and the way that he came back is it's such a redeeming story. And he even said, Jean Paul loves to tell me that all the time. I'm going to retire in my own terms. So that's really cool. The whole rivalry with Randy Orton has been great. The match at Backlash, like Jean Paul was saying, has been amazing. Unfortunately, he got injured because they had to redo the spot. They had to redo Christian spot for some reason. But, yeah, it's a great moment.
And now we have the final category. We have the best match. So, the moment match, we thought 2 different things here. So, different
criteria.
Exactly. We wanted to get an extra category, a little more content for you guys. So for the best match, we'll go with Ryan's pick first. Legit match. He went with the Boneyard match. Some people might be like, this wasn't even a match at all. This was whatever. To those
Some people, Jean Paul, will say, I lost all the respect to The Undertaker. They have the balls to say that.
Yep, and those people,
and you know who you are. You know it.
Yep, thanks for coming, but we don't want you here. So
no, ever. We don't want you here.
This match, it was legit. It could be up there for my pick. I liked it. Some people, like we said, they hated it, but I thought it was good. It was the most out of AJ Styles and The Undertaker. Them in a legit match, it would have been good, but I don't know if it would have, felt as good as this felt. Moments with Metallica, it was legit. Stephanie McMahon actually did an interview, and she said Metallica was supposed to be there live.
They were supposed to perform, but thanks, COVID, for everything that you've done for us, because you pretty much...
But they said they still wanted to be a part of it. They said, please, still use our song. We'll record it. Boo, use the recording,
James Hetfield, Lance Ulrich and Company, Kerry Hammer, and, legit stuff, yeah.
Yep, so then now for my pick, there's a lot of matches. Like I said earlier, am I going to go with Hangman and Kenny versus the Bucks? That match was legit, but I'm gonna roll off the emotions of my best moment of 2020, Edge. I got to go with Edge and Randy Orton at Backlash. Was it the greatest wrestling match ever? Well, it was, number 2 on WWE's, because they did a similar list because they're copying Rope Break. They had this match at number 2. They had number 1 as the Boneyard. You can't argue that, I guess. And the Boneyard. The Boneyard wasn't technically a wrestling match. So with them putting this match at number 2, is still technically their highest rated wrestling match. So I'm going to go with this. I thought it was great. It definitely gave me those New Japan, Omega, Okada vibes, where it was lots of near falls. You were like, oh my God, when is this done? When is it over? But it was such a legit match. I might actually go watch it again tonight when we're done. Now that I'm talking.
Well, it was great. The fact that they did their own moves, meaning for example, Edge did the RKO, and then Randy Orton did a spear. They did the pedigree. They did they kind of the rock bottom. They use other moves from other people, kind of giving honoring tributes.
Exactly.
And they remember when they put that freaking stipulation, the greatest match ever. or the greatest wrestling, the greatest wrestling match ever. I think that they put themselves in a big corner.
Yeah, but the only thing with that is, though, I feel like those two guys, they delivered the best that they could.
Yeah, no, because despite that, like the big stipulation, everybody was like, okay, this is not bad.
Yeah,
because they surpassed, like no doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, they surpassed like the match at like WrestleMania. Because WrestleMania, Jean Paul and I were like, why is this crap? 40 minutes long. They just go like a tour from the Performance Center. It's like, look at the cable. This is connected to this. So with this, you can get like the big screen connected. That was not what we wanted to see. But like they made it up big time in Backlash. So now, Jean Paul, I guess it's my turn, right?
Yep, let's hear it.
Is I gotta end it, and that's gonna be. We're gonna go a little bit of like the 90s time. We're gonna go to NXT in your house. We're going to go to like the match that main evented that show, and that's going to be Io Shirai challenging Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Absolutely a great match. And the biggest thing is like finally Io Shirai got her big moment. So she was able to beat the best two females in WWE. You could say that. Io, like Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. Charlotte, until that time, she was having one of the greatest runs. Because she starts beating Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Jean Paul hates absolutely that because she goes for the riptide. Like 2 seconds in the match, she has finisher, hits triangle, and done. No, it's not done yet. And then Jean Paul sends me a text, and he's like, if she taps, I'm done with Roper. He's like, thank you, Juan, but like I'm done with this bullshit. And
I take off the glasses. Nope,
yeah, he put the glasses on the mat. All of that. But like, what does she do? She taps. So. In this match, though, like Io Shirai winning it, it was such a great moment. And
it was a long moment coming for Io. It was one of those things. It was like it's now or never. You got to do it. You got to do it, and it felt so good. And not even just for the moment that Io deserved it. It was good. Just the whole match itself was so legit when she has her in that, and that in the figure four, and it's like, oh my God, no, she's done. And then the camera zooms out, and you see Io's going for the moonsault, and you're like, yes, it's it was just so legit.
Yes, and like that for me is like the best match, and also like the fact that like the women are actually challenging the guys in so many ways right now. In so many ways, in wrestling ability, in like the wrestling matches, like for example, hey, the fact that like now they're main eventing shows. NXT is being main evented by the women so many times now.
Exactly.
Io defending against Tegan Knox. Remember when Io going against Sasha Banks? The tag titles when like Tegan Knox, Shotzi challenged Bayley and Sasha. So many times now, the women, even, in Impact with Perazo and Jordan Grace. It was not the main event, but at least it was one of the main events. So, it's just great. And to see Io Shirai finally getting the gold that she so deserved, it's such a great moment for me. And then that's the best match so far for me in 2020.
Exactly. So that's it. That was the final category.
The list.
Yep, that was our list of guys, please comment who you guys, thought, who's your main event player. People will be like, oh, you left all these guys from Japan. Well, hey, we don't watch, Japanese wrestling. Sorry, there's way too much to watch. If I'm going to give an honorable mention, I would say Nick Aldis, because I think he's the only champion who has been champion for all of maybe 2020. Yeah. And he's had like a legit title reign, so he's on there. There's lots of guys who we left out, but those are our picks.
And also, like, if you guys
let me know your closing thoughts.
New Japan, Jean Paul, we cover Wrestle Kingdom. An hour. Jean Paul and I go match by match. A whole hour and 10 minutes of both days of Wrestle Kingdom. So it's not that like we ignore Japanese.
But like I said, I mean, there's so many picks, and like for up and comers, MJF could have been one.
Yeah.
You can't say Ryan Cage, or you can't say all these people. Yeah, because they're done. But MJF still has a chance.
They could easily say Evil, right? Because Evil at least is well known in Japan. But now here it's like, okay, he has the championship now. He's like both champions, so he's Evil to belts or those straps.
Yeah.
So Jean Paul, remind everybody where they can find us.
Well, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, Original Rope Break, Twitter, the OG Rope Break, and right here for your mid-year awards, for your SmackDown Live, Monday Night Raw, NXT and AEW review, right here on the Original Rope Break. That's
right, family. So thank you so very much. Please, like Jean Paul was saying, comment. Let us know. Hey, you suck, Juan, for picking this. Jean Paul sucks. I freaking hate both of you. Hopefully Ryan is the only one left in the show. Whatever you guys want to say,
exactly.
Say it. We don't care. But like, you know, we want to hear what you guys have to say. We want to hear you guys have a voice. You guys are the voice of the voiceless. So use that voice. So Jean Paul, I think you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is.